Shedeur Sanders shocks fans after Bears vs. Browns. Wait, did Shedeur Sanders just hint that his future could be somewhere other than Cleveland? After the Browns' preseason matchup with the Chicago Bears, the conversation around Sanders suddenly got even louder. He's competing for opportunities in a crowded quarterback room, and now fans are asking a much bigger question. Could he actually leave the Browns? Sanders knows this preseason is important. Every snap is a chance to prove he belongs, but every mistake can also change the way the coaching staff sees him. Against Chicago, there were flashes of potential, but there were also mistakes that Sanders will need to clean up. And that's exactly why his response after the game matters. Because this isn't only about what happened against the Bears. It's about what happens next. If Sanders can come back, protect the football, make quicker decisions, and move the offense consistently, he could make a strong case for more opportunities in Cleveland. But if the Browns decide to go in another direction, Sanders could eventually find himself looking for a new home. And that's where the rumors start getting interesting. Could another NFL team see an opportunity to bring Sanders in and give him a bigger role? Some fans have already started talking about the Dallas Cowboys, but right now, there's a huge difference between fan speculation and an actual NFL move. Sanders still has to earn his place. The good news for him is that his story is far from finished. A young quarterback can change the entire conversation with one great performance. If Sanders responds strongly in his next opportunity, the Browns could suddenly have a much harder decision to make. That's why the next game could be so important. Will Sanders show the Browns that he deserves a bigger role? Or will Cleveland's quarterback situation eventually push him toward another team? For now, there are still more questions than answers. The situation becomes even more interesting when you look at the bigger picture surrounding the Browns' quarterback room. Cleveland has several options, and that means Sanders can't simply rely on potential. He has to show the coaching staff that he can be trusted with real responsibility. That starts with making the simple plays consistently and avoiding the kind of mistakes that can completely change a drive. For Sanders, one of the biggest goals should be building confidence with his teammates. A quarterback has to earn that trust every time he steps into the huddle. Receivers need to know where the ball is going, the offensive line needs confidence in his decisions, and the coaching staff needs to believe he can execute the game plan. That's why the next few preseason opportunities could be so important. If Sanders starts finding a rhythm, the conversation around him could change quickly. A couple of strong drives, some accurate throws, and better decision-making could make the Browns think twice about how they plan to use him moving forward. And then there's the outside noise. Fans are already discussing possible destinations if Sanders eventually leaves Cleveland, with the Cowboys becoming one of the names mentioned in online speculation. But for now, that's exactly what it is, speculation. There has been no confirmed trade sending Sanders to Dallas, and Sanders' immediate focus should be on earning opportunities with the Browns. Still, the possibility is enough to make the situation interesting. Imagine Sanders gets another chance and suddenly puts together his best performance of the preseason. He protects the football, moves the offense, connects with his receivers, and shows the kind of confidence the Browns want from their quarterback. At that point, Cleveland would have to seriously consider what his development could look like with more playing time. But the opposite is also true. That pressure could actually work in Sanders' favor, because now he knows exactly what he needs to improve. The Browns will be looking for better consistency, especially when Sanders is under pressure. They want to see whether he can stay calm, go through his progressions, and make the right decision instead of forcing a throw into coverage. That part of his game could become extremely important. There's also the question of leadership. Sanders is still young, but the quarterback position demands confidence and communication. His teammates have to trust that he knows where the ball needs to go and that he can keep the offense focused when things aren't going according to plan. If Sanders can develop that trust, his chances of earning more opportunities become much stronger. And then there's the competition itself. The Browns aren't going to make their decision based on one good throw or one bad play. They're going to look at the entire body of work. They'll compare how each quarterback performs, how quickly they learn, and who gives the offense the most consistency. That means Sanders has to keep improving every time he gets on the field. A strong performance could create momentum, but consistency is what can keep that momentum going. This is also why the Cowboys rumors are getting attention. Dallas is one of the biggest names that fans have mentioned when talking about a possible destination for Sanders. The idea sounds exciting, especially because of the Cowboys' huge fan base and the spotlight surrounding that organization. But Sanders can't control the rumors. What he can control is his preparation and his performance. If he wants another team to eventually look at him as a legitimate option, the best thing he can do is continue showing that he belongs in the NFL. And if the Browns see enough progress, they may have no reason to let him go. That creates an interesting. At the same time, Sanders has to understand that his future won't be decided by what fans say online. The Browns' coaching staff will make its decision based on what they see every day in practice and during games. That means Sanders has to keep showing up prepared. He has to learn the offense, understand the reads, communicate with the players around him, and make the coaching staff feel comfortable putting the ball in his hands. The physical talent is only one part of becoming an NFL quarterback. The mental side can be just as important. When the defense changes the look before the snap, Sanders has to recognize it. When the first option isn't open, he has to move to the next read. And when a play breaks down, he has to know when to throw the ball away instead of trying to force something that could turn into a turnover. Those are the little details that can make a huge difference. And for a young quarterback, those details usually improve with experience. That's why getting more preseason reps could be extremely valuable for Sanders. The more snaps he gets, the more comfortable he can become with the speed of the game and the players around him. Another thing to watch is how Sanders handles pressure from the media and the fans. There's already plenty of attention surrounding his name, and every mistake can quickly become a headline. But if he can block out the noise and stay focused on football, that could help him take another step forward. The Cowboys' speculation is also going to remain part of the conversation as long as fans continue discussing his future. Dallas would obviously be a massive spotlight, but there's no guarantee that a move like that will happen. For now, Sanders' best option is to control what he can control. If he performs well enough, teams will notice. And if the Browns believe he has made enough progress, they could decide that keeping him and developing him is the better option. That's what makes the situation so unpredictable. At the end of the day, Shedeur Sanders still has a lot to prove, but he also has a real opportunity in front of him. The Bears game may have created more questions, but it doesn't have to define his future. What matters now is how Sanders responds, how quickly he improves, and whether he can show the Browns that he deserves more chances. The rumors about a possible departure, including the Cowboys speculation, are definitely getting fans talking, but nothing is decided yet. For now, Sanders has to let his football do the talking. So what do you think? Should the Browns keep developing Shedeur Sanders, or would you like to see him get a fresh start with another team? Drop your opinion in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our latest NFL updates. We're going to keep following Shedeur Sanders, the Browns, and all the biggest NFL stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.